non sit casus, which it just means let not this great work be in vain. And that's everything. That is everything. The great work.
In January 77, the council decided to destroy squatters' homes. They targeted St Agnes Place and came to demolish it, bringing with them an army of 250 policemen. Villa Roaders rushed to the rescue.
Very early in the morning, we found out that the council were moving in bulldozers, there were large bus loads of police turning up at the ends of the street and all the rest of it. And of course we all shot off down now, and quite a lot of the residents had already climbed up onto the roofs, basically saying, you know, if you're going to knock the house down, you're going to have to knock us down with them.
Got all the council workers digging up the pipes down at the front, and they filled the drains with cement and they took out the water and the gas pipes. So they really went to town to make sure they were uninhabitable. In this picture, you can just see here is a protester. He's one of the squatters who actually tied a rope around his waist. There was a few of them, and actually walked across the top of this, what's left of the main framework of the house.
We, together with the lawyers from the Law Centre, managed to get a emergency High Court injunction by midday or 1 o'clock that day, forcing the council to withdraw their equipment and to leave us alone.
St Agnes Place was saved, and the council was publicly and humiliatingly defeated. Lambeth Council had to rethink its approach. But Villa Road was still under threat, and the barricades remained in place there for another 2 years. In 1977, Tony Wakeford was living at number 15. He was a member of the Socialist Workers' Party and wrote anti-police songs for his punk band Crisis. Were you doing a lot of drugs at Villa Road?
Yeah. And before and after. Yeah, mainly lots of speed and some acid. Yeah. Terrible. I'm a fat git now, but then I was like 9 stone. And I got to the stage where I woke up one morning, looked in the mirror, pushed my teeth, and all my teeth just went... just sort of bent inwards. Yeah, terrible. Just lots of speed. You know.
Are they your teeth now?
They're capped. What for? That decade, things did seem very black and white, and people really, you know, took sides and made decisions of what they were going to do. So it was a very, you know, no middle ground type of thing. But yeah, at the time, we were all very committed.
Despite their committed struggle, the outcome for the Villa Roaders was only a partial victory. In 1978, the council came up with a deal. They would preserve the north side of the street on condition that the south side was destroyed. This was agreed. The squatters took down their barricades, and in the summer of '78, the south side of Villa Road was demolished to make a small patch of green alongside the A23. Most of the houses on the north side became a housing co-op. A few squats remained, including Pym's house, where he continues to live by his ideals.
Actually, I never use this bathroom. I have a composting toilet. I have a lifestyle which does not require running water. I've been doing that ever since I lived in the tipi, and I also was doing that in the little hut out there.
So where's your toilet, Pym?
It is a composting toilet, and as a matter of fact, next to the branches, that is where the toilet and the kitchen waste and everything, and it is a beautiful compost there. Fertility.
The street became much less of a cohesive, exciting place to be. There were a few houses that you know, still now have people in them who were in them at that time, but a lot of people went away, different parts of the world. I left eventually.
I feel really proud of what we achieved, actually. I mean, you know, the revolution didn't happen, but the houses were saved.
St Agnes Place refused to compromise and continued to battle for survival for the next 30 years. It became one of the only 70s squatting communities to survive until now. But the council have recently taken action to repossess the street once and for all. All the remaining squatters have now received eviction notices.
I love living here, you know, it is my home, and sometimes, you know, I've thought about the fact that, you know, if Lambeth weren't coming to evict me, would I just live here for my entire life, from the age of 3 years old to, you know, till I peg it in whatever age that would be, you know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I probably would. And some part of me sort of thinks, God, that's really sad. You know what I mean? God, get a life, go out, go and live somewhere else, go and do something else. But it's my home, and you know, the idea of not having it is a difficult thought. But sorry, can I stop?
From the men of property, the orders came. They sent the hired men and troopers to wipe out the diggers' claim, tear down their cottages, destroy their corn. They were dispersed, but their vision lingers on. You poor take courage, you rich take care. This earth was made a common treasury for everyone to share, all things in common, all people one. You diggers all stand up for glory, stand up now.
Do you live as a nuclear family now?
Yeah.
And what are your political ideals now? Would you still like to see the end of capitalism?
Yeah, I would really, yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
I don't care about capitalism, but I get a pension out of the tax, pay taxes of everybody, so like it would be counterproductive to be anti-capitalist, right? You don't slap the hand that feeds you.
Do you live in a nuclear family now?
Yes, I got married, I'm supposed to know that, only about 7 years ago.
Do you still hold the same left-wing beliefs that you did?
Absolutely.
I feel quite strongly about the environment, and certainly I support, you know, things like the people. There were people at Crystal Palace who were trying to save Crystal Palace, and they were living in trees. And I mean, I very much supported those tree people.
How would you describe your politics now?
Deep green. Extremely green. I, for example, have never had a fridge in my life, and if I'm ever planted in a house where there is one, I switch it off immediately.
What do you do now, Sue?
Oh, well, I'm going to work on a llama farm now. I'm going to have some time in the country.
Sue, what do you do now?
Well, I'm paint, and I like to spend some time in India.
I teach and I practice psychotherapy.
I'm the America's editor of The Economist. I still see myself as a, as a left-wing anti-capitalist, but it's of no consequence to anybody because at the moment, I'm not doing anything about it.
What I do now is I'm a professor of romantic poetry at Queen Mary University of London.
Did you go on to live in a nuclear family?
Yes, it's more or less, yes, yeah. Not particularly successfully.
Would you still see yourself as someone who was hoping for the overthrow of capitalism?
I think that's a very long shot now.
Would you still welcome the overthrow of capitalism?
Probably not. It's not really an option, is it?
You have to be really strong to keep on fighting, you know. And I am fighting, and we all are. Those of us who are still doing what we're doing in this way, we are still fighting. You know, I'm doing my bit for the housing cooperative movement.
So I think capitalism has got a dynamic which we'll have to end. I mean, the internal conflicts of capitalism are quite horrendous.
And what do you do now?
I do long-range weather forecasting.
The world and all its angels are talking in my head. The world and all its angels.
An extreme brand of feminism coming up on BBC4, calling on women to be political lesbians, preaching that we could never be free until we stopped having sex with men. Continuing Lefties next.
Come the morning, by the dawning light, such crimes and stories, behold the wondrous sights. Come the morning, by the dawning light.